Please welcome to the stage Dr. Ken Van Treuren.
The news was devastating. Did this really happen? Was there something I could have done to prevent it? What do we do now? One of our top engineering students committed suicide. He was loved by everyone, but something was wrong. It seems I really didn't know him or the pressures he was facing. As I was thinking about his generation, I came to the conclusion I needed more information, so I went to the internet. I wasn't prepared for what I found. The American College Health Association says that 63% of college students have had anxiety attacks over the past year. 42% were so depressed that they couldn't function, and 12% seriously considered suicide. I learned that this generation, it's called the iGen, or sometimes called Gen Z. Dr. Jean Twenge states that this current generation, Dr. Jean Twenge is author of the book iGen, Why Today's Super-Connected Kids Are Growing Up Less Rebellious, More Tolerant, Less Happy, and Completely Unprepared for Adulthood. She defines iGen as students born between 1995 and 2012. What distinguishes this generation is the fact that they have always had access to the internet, to cell phones, and social media. I learned that many of these students are entering the university unprepared for what they will experience. Here's some interesting facts that I found. Many of these students do not have a driver's license. Part-time jobs are not part of their lives. They smoke less, they drink less, and they would rather be at home than go out. In general, iGens have had fewer life experiences prior to entering the university, which puts them at risk. Fast forward to graduation. For iGens, many are still unprepared. Industry uses the word fragile to describe newcomers. Dr. Peter Gray of Boston College states that declining student resilience is a serious problem for colleges. We must take the time to learn about this generation. We must help them become resilient. But what can we do to help them reduce the anxiety and stress in their lives? Well, as an educator, I'd like to offer 3 ideas which can help iGens better prepare for the future. What matters in their lives are soft skills, real-life experiences, and being able to unplug from technology. First, let me talk about soft skills and why they matter. The American Association of American Colleges and Universities states that employers think that soft skills, in particular written and oral communication and working together on teams, need improvement. We can help our students have more experiences in these areas. Written communication isn't just texting. Oral communication isn't just giving a PowerPoint presentation. Team projects are part of all of our curriculums. But at Baylor, a survey shows that students approach team projects by dividing the tasks and then coming together just in time to compile pieces, just trying to turn it in, with very little interaction throughout. But what can we do to help iGens develop soft skills? Well, first, give them opportunities to talk to their classmates. Use techniques like think, compare, share. Knowing how to have a conversation with others is a first step to developing meaningful relationships. Second, give them opportunities to write and revise. This doesn't make perfect. Third, use techniques in team projects such as the jigsaw, which has team interaction to keep each team member accountable. Failure to develop soft skills can lead to anxiety and depression. Soft skills are necessary for success at the workplace and in life. Being able to communicate, especially in teams, will help build authentic relationships, which addresses feelings of loneliness and isolation. Without these relationships, it is difficult to experience real life, which is the second thing that matters. Life experiences provide a foundation for the future. In their book, Generation Z Goes to College, Singular and Gray state that iGens have fewer in-person friends. They would rather be at home with their parents. They would rather be on the internet and connect with others on social media. In general, they are growing up more slowly. Dr. Treuren states that this current generation of students is entering the university with the emotional maturity of a 15. iGens are experiencing many things for the first time at college, which leads to anxiety. iGens grew up with long parents who overprotected their children and removed the words failure and adversity from their vocabulary. Never having failed, iGens are now set up for perhaps the biggest failure of their life. So what university life experiences can we give iGens to help them better prepare for the future? Well, one such opportunity is student organizations. Baylor's Engineers with a Mission provides water and electricity to rural areas in Haiti and Central America. Baylor's Basic Utility Vehicle Group provides utility vehicles to rural people in Uganda. These are life-changing experiences which help our students learn teamwork and at the same time focus on others and not on themselves. With a life of service comes joy, satisfaction, and maturity. Without these real-life experiences, it was difficult for our students to have the courage or the confidence to consider unplugging from technology. The ability to unplug from technology matters. The average teenager spends 7 hours and 22 minutes a day on their phone. In Italy, a study of 153 business students had to give up their phone for just one day. They reported they didn't know what to do with the extra time they had at office to ride in public transportation. They felt anxiety. They had become addicted to their cell phones. While there's some debate among medical and mental health professionals as to whether or not excessive use of your phone is truly an addiction, research says that your brain receives a shot of a feel-good chemical called dopamine each time you have an enjoyable experience with your phone. This brings you back for more, and before you know it, you are addicted. Unplugging from technology might be what ultimately matters in the life of iGens. iGens use their phone to binge watch sites such as YouTube and Netflix. iGens spend a lot of time on social media, and they worry about what others think. This leads to comparison and feelings of inadequacy, which experts tell us will eventually lead to depression. While unplugging totally from technology is unrealistic, what can we do to break the technology addiction? Well, let me offer some suggestions. At the university, we could offer technology-free safe zones, such as classrooms or having a meal with faculty, family, and friends. We could have field trips or social activities which are technology-free, requiring interaction. Well, what other safe spaces could we give our students? Well, whatever safe spaces that are at your campus, if we give our students the opportunity to occasionally unplug from their technology, we must give them alternatives which are equally as attractive, such as face-to-face conversation, cooking a gourmet meal, playing a board game, going outside, doodling, or just doing nothing. Unplugging from technology is something that our students need to do so they can plug into real life. In conclusion, there is a mental health crisis facing the university. College counseling centers and mental health services are being stretched to the limit. The Baylor University Counseling Center has experienced a 70% increase in student visits over this past year, primarily due to anxiety. Ben Law, the executive director of the Center for Collegiate Mental Health, states that the increasing demand for counseling created by anxiety and depression dramatically exceeds all other concerns and is continuing to grow. Today, suicide rates among teens and young adults have reached their highest point in nearly 2 decades. We tend to think engineering students are not the typical iGen. are more competent, more rational. From where I stand, engineering students are no different. We experienced this last semester. While many students are entering the university unprepared for the future, we, as educators, must help iGen to be ready for what is next. If we take time to build soft skills into their lives, give them opportunities for real-life experiences, and if we help them develop new habits, putting technology into proper perspective, then our students, the internet generation, will be better prepared to face the world and to make good decisions in life. In this way, we add significant value to the lives of our students.